you've said before that some of the technology that has been employed so far is not up to standard in terms of like giving farmers apps and stuff. So for you, what is the right technology? What have you seen in terms of technology that has being brought into the market? And like, you know what, I think that's a really good.
I think the first thing is you have to start from the beginning, which is soil analysis. Soil analysis and being able to do what's your net arable area. Remember, for us guys, when we started, even now, we measure our land. We are able to tell the plant population. What is this plant population for these crops? Before, we used to take things to the lab. Nowadays, you can test it with instant results at the farm level. You can put a microbe and it tells you hapa acidity, hapa iko ishida. You see, when you start from there, then now you're starting from a proper foundation, which catapults you or sets the journey to getting to that objective to be a bit more certain. Because from there, if we're talking about net arable area, so I know this farmer has 2 acres. So in 2 acres, we know the plant population can be 50,000 crops, for example, with a yield of X per whatever. So you know how much fertilizer they need to put per acre. The second thing, I honestly think, and a lot of it has been spoken in the political space, and they are talking about subsidizing production than consumption. It's the right way to do. Because if we can't feed ourselves as a country, that's a problem. That's actually a national security risk, to be honest. So the second thing that needs to be done, once we've done the tech for measuring the soil in terms of the nutrients, now subsidize that cost of production, the fertilizers. Then all these other apps come after. They can't come before. Because if you don't have your soil analysis right, if you don't have you even mapped your land right, fine, you can have microbes to test how much rain you're getting, but you've already started from a point of failing. So what is the rain coming to help? You can't say that you're going to get 10 tons off this acre. Now already your plant population is for 4,000, for 4 tons. Then you act surprised at the end of the season. You're like, hala, sijui mbona sikupata ile mazao nilikuwa natarajia. It's a problem.
You mentioned about subsidies, so I'm trying to figure out like what is the right way, because what you're saying when you talk about subsidies is this farmer or this producer cannot be able to produce their products without a helping hand. So in some way or shape or form, you're saying they're not productive now, or they don't know what they are doing, basically, because they're not able to produce a product and bring it into the market that people can be able to buy.
They are, but they're not living up, or they're not fulfilling the potential.
Is it better to subsidize, because we talked about like the EU and the US mostly subsidizing, like, is it market?
No. Kenya is a net importer of food. So we already import a lot. Subsidized production, the yields will go up, right? Instead of us getting tomatoes, potatoes from Tanzania, then we're able to satisfy our market.
So that's assuming we actually give them good inputs. Like, yeah, the other day I was talking about Alan Namu covered the fake fertilizer story. Yeah, so it's like, hey, we are subsidizing inputs production, but you're giving us really bad input. So what's going on here?
That's very true. Minakwambia, this thing. I remember the politician who had said, I think the issue was what? Was it sugar or oil? There was a problem, cooking oil or something. And he said in Kenya there are multiple ways of dying.
Yeah. It was a GMO issue.
Yes, a GMO issue. Which, by the way, that was just a very weird way of looking at things. Like, no, you just want to add another one for us to die. You can't look at it that way. But, Aki, I'm telling you sometimes, that's why I say Kenya, if I was to speak about my country, that's part for resilience. I know it sounds corny because people talk about it all the time. But Aki, na zingine tunaishi. If where we are as a country versus all the things that hit us, all the headwinds that hit us, but tuko mbele mbaya. Because otherwise, I think we would have given up a long time ago. Nowadays you buy sugar, you don't know. Kesho utasikia a headline, someone telling you, hearing at, substandard sugar was imported. You're like, what the hell? That time you are just staring. You just leave.